Welcome to Royal Daily Report, your trusted source for royal news and updates. Why is the press and the palace refusing to look or comment or report on Meghan Markle's links to the same individual? And most importantly, her close personal relationship with Prince Andrew. Wasn't there some speculation that she was on Epstein's yacht at one point in time? There was like photos with her and Prince Andrew way back in the day when she was like in her early 20s. Wow, it is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out. Suggested that the then Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry. Why aren't they pushing this nuclear button and just let the world know about Meghan Markle? Let me set the scene for you. It was supposed to be a normal Saturday night. Just a chill evening. Everyone laughing at jokes, grabbing snacks, enjoying SNL like always. But baby, not tonight. Tonight, SNL didn't just crack a joke. They lit a fuse. A fuse that went straight into Meghan Markle's perfectly curated castle of candles, crystals, and carefully filtered lifestyle quotes. One punchline, one audience reaction, one royal meltdown brewing behind the scenes. Because when SNL decided to bring up Meghan and some mysteriously resurfaced yacht photos in the same breath, oh, she lost it. And trust me, the story that follows, it only gets hotter, messier, and a whole lot nastier. So buckle up, because this is where the scandal is born. Remember to subscribe to Royal Daily Report for more updates. SNL's Colin Jost walks onto that stage looking all innocent, right? Cool suit, smooth face, marriage to Scarlett Johansson, like life is chill. But then he opens his mouth and boom, he fires the first shot. He says, "The new UK trade deal is simple. America keeps Meghan Markle." The crowd stops. Like literally freezes. You could hear a pin drop and Meghan's left eyelash fall off in Montecito. Then the room erupts, people laughing, clapping, losing their minds because that joke wasn't random. It hit a nerve, a very royal nerve. And Colin doesn't stop there. He goes straight for the kill, only if she deletes her Instagram again. Oh my god. Now the audience is screaming. Headlines pop up like popcorn kernels. Commentators are choking on their tea. And Meghan, sources say she wasn't laughing. Not even a fake Hollywood giggle. Word from inside Montecito says a wine glass met a marble counter real fast. Cause Meghan recognized the truth in that room. SNL wasn't mocking her politics. They were mocking her brand. And once comedians start treating you like a punchline, honey, the dam is already cracking. Here's the thing, SNL jokes always have layers. This wasn't just, haha, Meghan. This was, everyone knows something and we're finally saying it out loud. Colin slips in a reference to Andrew, to islands, to things Meghan has worked overtime to distance herself from. He teases her about never Googling Harry, which everyone knows is a lie, so bold even cartoon characters would blink twice. Because Meghan, Miss Vision Board, Miss Manifest Your Man, Miss I've wanted a prince since I was 5. She wants us to believe she didn't Google Prince Harry. Girl, please. SNL wasn't making innocent jokes. They were throwing a spotlight at the shadows Meghan keeps locked in her storage closet. One insider said that joke felt like someone was giving Hollywood permission to start talking. Translation: the door Meghan fought to keep shut was beginning to creak open. Just when Meghan thought the joke storm was dying down, boom, another explosion hits. Because suddenly a set of yacht photos start circulating. Not fuzzy baby pictures, not some blurry club selfie from 2008. No, no, no. These were well-framed, high-quality, sun-drenched images of a gorgeous yacht floating off some glittering European coast. Men in designer sunglasses, champagne, private staff, luxury everywhere. And in the center, a woman. Hair perfect, body glowing, laughing like life is perfect. A woman who looks exactly like Meghan Markle. Sources claimed the timing was too perfect to be random. These photos drop right as Meghan is trying to relaunch herself. New wine brand, new documentary plans, new lifestyle push. And suddenly, here come these old yacht whispers strolling back into the spotlight like, "Hey girl, remember us?" But the real issue wasn't the yacht. It was the era. These images match Meghan's Suits era. The same time she was selling herself as the clean, polished, empowered girl next door actress. Except this didn't look like girl next door energy. This looked like private invitations, exclusive company, luxury access before royalty. Don't forget to subscribe to Royal Daily Report. Now here's where things start getting interesting. Because after those yacht photos popped up, people weren't just asking, is that her? No. The real question was, how did Meghan even get on a yacht like that? Let's remember the era we're talking about. This wasn't Duchess Meghan. This wasn't global humanitarian Meghan. This was early Suits era Meghan. The girl preaching avocado toast, self-care Sundays, and work hard, manifest harder. Cute, but not yacht access cute. This wasn't spring break energy. This was A-list, ultra-connected, VIP-only kind of access. Your name isn't on the list unless someone powerful wants you there kind of environment. And here's where it gets spicy. Back then, Meghan ran The Tig, her personal lifestyle blog. A blog filled with dreamy travel posts, mysterious summer invitations, curated photos of luxury trips, but always described in this soft, innocent, just lucky and grateful tone. Except now, those entries read very differently. Insiders in the industry have always whispered that Meghan was strategic, always networking, always placing herself in the right rooms before anyone realized what she was aiming for. One source said, "People like Meghan don't end up on those yachts by accident. Someone invites them." So the pictures don't just raise eyebrows, they raise the curtain. Because a yacht like that isn't a vacation, it's a world. A world she never included in her story, but one she clearly had access to long before Harry ever showed up. Here's the part Meghan hoped would never crawl its way back into the sunlight. Long before royal titles, podcasts, or Hollywood deals, there was a private whisper network. A rumor that Meghan once floated around certain elite circles. Circles that included wealthy men, social power players, and yes, men connected to the same world Prince Andrew ran in. This rumor wasn't public, it wasn't loud, it lived in hush tones, in industry corners, in don't ask too many questions territory. And the royal machine absolutely knew about it. When Meghan and Harry became official, palace aides reportedly worked overtime to suffocate anything that even smelled like scandal. Stories quietly vanished. Old threads disappeared. Certain publications received friendly reminders to avoid unverified claims. Because once a woman is being prepped to marry into the monarchy, the past must be spotless, even if that requires a little scrubbing. But the truth? Whispers don't die. They wait. And when those yacht photos resurfaced, the old rumor didn't just reappear. It roared back to life. One insider said it bluntly. The rumor wasn't new, it was just buried. And now the burial ground is cracking open. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report for the latest royal news. Here's the real twist in Meghan's story. The part that makes the scandal even juicier. Meghan didn't just build a career, she built an image. Every yoga post, every avocado bowl, every interview with soft lighting and empowering buzzwords. Her entire persona was crafted like a product launch. She sold herself as the relatable girl who worked hard, rose through the ranks, and stayed clean, humble, and grounded. But now, the resurfacing yacht narrative doesn't just challenge her past. It contradicts her brand. Because how do you preach purity, empowerment, and "I built my life from scratch" when there are photos showing access to billionaire-level luxury years before royalty ever entered the chat? One Hollywood source said, "Her brand depends on consistency. The photos make the story inconsistent, and that's the danger. When your empire is built on perfection, even one crack becomes a canyon." And the yacht photos weren't just a crack. They were a spotlight shining straight through the surface. Because suddenly the question wasn't, is that Meghan on the yacht? It was, if she hid this, what else did she hide? And that question, my love, is where the entire scandal starts snowballing. By now, everyone expected Meghan to come out swinging. A statement, a denial, a legal threat, a self-love quote on Instagram. Something. But guess what she gave us? Nothing. Not a whisper, not a post, not even a passive-aggressive, "In times of darkness, we rise stronger" message in rose gold fonts. Just silence. And that silence? It spoke louder than any press release ever could. Sources in Montecito claimed Meghan went into full lockdown mode. No paparazzi smiles, no staged coffee runs, no "oops, you caught me walking the dog" photos. Behind closed doors, insiders say she was far from calm. Think frantic calls, emails flying, team members pacing and panicking. One source said, she didn't want to talk publicly because she didn't know which part to deny. Ouch, because here's the rule in Hollywood and royalty. When something is false, you shut it down fast. You don't let it breathe, you don't let it grow, you suffocate it on sight. But Meghan didn't suffocate anything. She went completely still, which made the world lean in closer. While Meghan was scrambling behind the velvet curtains of Montecito, everyone noticed something strange. Harry disappeared. Not literally, but emotionally, publicly, energetically. He stopped making joint appearances. He stopped smiling for cameras. He stopped defending Meghan in interviews. He even skipped a couple of expected Zoom calls, the ones he usually shows up for with forced enthusiasm. Sources whisper that the tension in the house was palpable. One insider described Harry like this: "He looked like a man reading fine print he never wanted to see." Think about it. Harry gave up everything: titles, home, family, relationships, for Meghan. He built a life around her version of the story. But now, with these resurfaced photos, those long-buried whispers, and Meghan refusing to clarify anything, Harry was allegedly questioning everything. Another source said he finally accepted things he didn't want to accept before. That line alone? That's a movie scene. Meghan was fighting to hold the narrative together. Harry was quietly stepping back, trying to figure out if he ever knew the full picture. And that silence between them? Let's just say it was louder than SNL's entire studio audience. Remember to subscribe to Royal Daily Report. Here's the truth. The yacht photos aren't the real scandal. SNL isn't the real scandal. Even Harry's withdrawal isn't the real scandal. The real scandal is the illusion. For years, Meghan Markle didn't just tell a story. She crafted one. Piece by piece, filter by filter, interview by interview. A story of the struggling actress who rose to duchesshood through love, grace, and positivity. A story of the humanitarian underdog, the girl next door with royal dreams, the perfect blend of Hollywood sparkle and royal elegance. But when an image is built on perfection, it cannot survive contradiction. Those yacht photos, they didn't expose a scandal. They exposed a fault line, a crack in the foundation of the fairy tale revealing a different kind of story underneath. A story of ambition, calculated connections, carefully erased chapters, strategic reinvention. And once the world senses a crack, it starts pushing. Not because people want her to fall, but because everyone wants to know, who is the real Meghan Markle? The woman she showed us or the woman she hid? And this, my love, is where the room goes quiet. Because the SNL joke wasn't comedy. It was a cultural announcement. We see you now. The resurfaced photos weren't accidents. They were reminders. The silence wasn't noble, it was telling. And the fallout wasn't random, it was inevitable. Meghan Markle built a global image. But now that image is flickering, and people are watching to see what emerges from the smoke. Because the question isn't whether her past is resurfacing. The question is what else is coming with it. And trust me, we're only getting started. Thank you for watching Royal Daily Report. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all royal news. This is Royal Daily Report, signing off.